Hello game devs, in this tutorial we are going to talk about lighting in Unity. First of all, I want to delete this directional light because I want to explain all lights in this video, so I just delete this. Then I want to create a cube so we can see our lights and how they affect our objects. Okay, this is now what our world look like without any light. I move my camera here, then I want it to be like this, or we can just press on main camera and then Control Shift F, and then our camera will be like this. Okay, now we have something like this. We make our cube a little bigger, for example 10 to 10. Okay, then I want to show all lights one by one. First, in creating lights is really easy. Just right click here and then lights, and then you can choose one of these lights. At first I want to show you directional light. Directional light is something like sunlight, and it's exactly what sun do in our world. See, this is our sunlight. When we change this rotation, for example like this, when we move it, our world will be night and day, and as we move our directional light, we will have any time of day in our world. And here see, in the surface we have sunlight moving in our cube. See, here we have this, and then we have this night. Okay, now it's night. In the night, or maybe in the day, we can create some other lights like point light. Point light, it's just a light, but it's in a point. For example, like this. We usually use this for something like lamps and some objects that should have lights. It have some properties. For example, in intensity we can set this, and also we can change our range. For example, make it a little smaller, and then we can move this object and we have our point light. I want to create a room here, so I want to duplicate this cube, and then I change its rotation, and then we can click on V and snap this here like this. Ctrl D one more time, snap to here again, Ctrl D. I want to rotate this, V to a snap. I want to move it here, and it shouldn't be here. Snap here, and then this wall, Ctrl D, move it to here. Now we have this room. Okay, if you want to see lightings and how lightings is in your scene, you can just press on it, and now we can see how our lighting is. When we move it here, our other walls also have lights, and we can change our light color, for example to red, and then we can for example increase our range, and we will have a light like this. Okay, we can make it beautiful. I want to move it here and make this color to something blue like this, and I duplicate it, and then I duplicate this light and move it a little here, and then I want this to be red. Okay, and now we have something like this. After that, I want to show you other lights, and it's a spotlight. I think you can guess what this light is. It's a light that sometimes we see in some scenes in some concerts and something like this. This light is like this. And sometimes we just use this light to say something is more important, or make some effects for our games. Like other lights, it have the intensity. We can make it more and less. We have a range, as you see, and also we can make this a little bigger, and then we increase our range, and we will have a bigger lights. We can also change its color. I want to change its color to, for example, this. Now we have our room, something like this. Here we can go to our directional light and make our intensity to 0. Then we will have no lights in our scene, and now we just have our lights that we are creating here. After this lights, I want to show you other light. It's a little different from other lights. It's area light, and as you see, and when we add this to our scene, we don't have any lights and we don't see any change. We usually use this light to create a window and something like this. And when we want to use this light, we have to bake our lights. I will show you how to bake lights, and it's really easy. Just come here in window and then in rendering lighting, then click on generate lighting, and then as you see we will have a really better lights. Unity baked our lights create really more realistic lights, but now our lights are static. Now we don't have any shadows, and I want to show you something. For example, when I create a cube here, as you see, when I move it here, we don't have any shadow anymore. This baking light is really good to create some aesthetic lights, and we will have this really amazing light here, but we don't have any area light here. Let's see why this happened. When we want to bake our color and make some our area light isn't working because it's just working static objects, so we make this wall static. Then I want to delete these lights because it will take a lot of time to create our lights, so I just delete them, and now we just have these lights. So just generate lighting, and after baking we have this light, and when we move this it won't move because it's just baked and we can't do anything to it. So when you want to have a real-time light, you don't need to bake them, but when you create a map that your lights don't need to move, and you can just set them in some positions and then you don't want to move them, I suggest you to use baking lights. It's really more realistic and it will give you a really good looking lights. And then after all of this I want to do this, uncheck this aesthetic, and then I just want to create some point lights here, 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 and here. I want to set them, for example, to red, and I want to set them to blue, like this. And then I want to bake them. Window, rendering, lighting, and then generate lights. And after that we will have these beautiful lights here. Okay, it's enough for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good time and goodbye.